Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Jessie. This is an immersive vacation channel. Let's practice IELTS speaking English with me. Okay, let's go. Well, in my video, I'm gonna talk about part 2 and part 3 of IELTS speaking exam. In part 2, I'm gonna give you one example, and also can find the script underneath. And for part 3, usually part 3 can determine whether we can get a higher score or not. Although the examiner only give us like 3 to 5 minutes to answer 3 to 5 questions, in my video, I'm gonna give you one example for part 3 of IELTS speaking exam. I will try to extend my answer as much as I can, so I'll give you more thoughts about how to answer part 3. Okay, let's go. Okay, for part 2, the topic is describe a city or town you have been to and if you'd like to visit again. Well, off the top of my head, it's definitely a city I visited like 5 years ago. It is Vancouver. Well, it is a city that is located in the southwest part of Canada. It is adjacent to the Washington states of the United States, and also it is bordered by the Pacific Ocean along the western coastline. And Vancouver is such a beautiful city with the tranquil ambience, friendly local people, and breathtaking beautiful sceneries. Vancouver has been well known as one of the most inhabitable city, and also be well known as one of the most popular tourist destination. Well, since one of my friends kind of settled down in Vancouver, that's she expect me to drop by visit her. Thus, during a long holiday, I flew all the way to visit her. Even though I have heard a lot about Vancouver, I still marveled at how beautiful this place can be. But I arrived at the Vancouver. I think there are majorly 3 reasons I think this city is quite beautiful. The first and most important reason is that I just love the slow pace of lifestyle in here. With the clean road, crispy and very fresh air, and beautiful coastline, the downtown Vancouver, has a tranquil ambience. I stayed in the downtown Vancouver for 2 days, and every day in the morning it was still a little bit chilly. I just take a stroll along the clean road. I just imagine that how comfortable it can be when I come across a coffee shop, which is at the corner of the crossroad. Since it was a little bit chilly outside, when you open the door of the coffee shop, the warmth and aroma of coffee flew all the way to my face. Then I order a cup of hot coffee and I sit at a window table and zone out a little bit, appreciate the amazing scenery outside on the street and observe the pedestrians passing by. And to some extent, I just feel like the Vancouver has a really magic power that can help me to kick back, recharge my battery. It was quite soothing and relaxing. I was quite big on this little pace of lifestyle in Vancouver. This helped me to get away from the hustle and bustle of city life, even though Vancouver is such urbanized and modernized city. And I found this place, is quite beautiful because, Vancouver is literally a city on a green. There are countless numbers of provincial parks, gardens, greeneries, plants, trees, flowers. I still really remember there was a very long promenade. I took a stroll along the coastal line. Behind me were those concrete jungles and skyscrapers. In front of me were, a rows of mountains on the other side of the bay. It was breathtakingly beautiful. There were a lot of yards and ships on the sea, and you can see some seagulls, flying and singing in the sky. And I remember that I spot a bicycle rental shop and I rent a bicycle. I rode a bicycle along the promenade leading all the way to the Stanley Park, which was a large provincial park near the downtown. And I remember that in the Stanley Park there were a lot of trees. Those trees are pretty high, just like those high-rise buildings. The landscape was quite magnificent. I also drove to the edge of the city because there are a lot of provincial parks scattered, in the suburbs. I remember that I went to a provincial park called the City Sky Park. My friend and I, go hiking. We climbed all the way, to the top of the mountain. Well, I still remember those beautiful sceneries that I overviewed, from top of the mountain. I spotted the lake, the rows of mountains. It felt like all those beautiful sceneries were in my reaching distance. I even took a stroll after dinner in the park, which were behind my friend's house. It was a beautiful park, pretty large one, called Deer Lake Park in Burnaby City. It's like a residential area in Vancouver. Well, I remember that it was such a beautiful park because there were a lot of trees, flowers, and some plants. And when there are a lot of trees and greeneries, you're gonna see a lot of wild animals. I come across squirrels. They were different colors. Some of those squirrels chased after me when I feed them peanuts. I saw some white dogs, they were paddling in water leisurely and carefreely. Sort of reason I found Vancouver is quite beautiful, because I believe that autumn was the best season in this city, because in Vancouver there were a lot of maple trees, and in autumn all those maple trees would turn from the green color to yellow to orange to red. Since all those leaves would grow in different maturity level, so you're gonna see different layers of shades in distance. It was breathtakingly beautiful. I just found a bench and sit on a bench, enjoy the beautiful sceneries. It's worth mentioning that some of the benches were, donated by the local people, and they would donate money, for the maintenance of those benches, and they would, inscribe their loved one's name on the bench. Some of those loved people in their family, might passed away. It's just like the best way for them to memorize the loved ones. I feel like, Vancouver is such a beautiful city that you can see a lot of greeneries, the crispy and the fresh air, the slow pace of lifestyle, and also you can experience the human kindness among those local people. So, that is my sharing. Thank you. Well, for part 3, the question is, why do some people like to visit historical sites? Well, I think the first reason is that all those historical sites that just satisfy the people's curiosity about a certain historical period or some historical figures, and even some historical stories, such as the war, the change the dynasty, the Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Victoria, those emperors, in Qing dynasty in China, Crusade, etc. And many people would like to pay a visit to those historical sites, because they want to do research, they want to study. You want to acquire more information, or simply for fun, especially when you pay a closer look at all those historical sites, those golden utensils, those paintings, antiques. You would feel that you're personally on the scene and you are closely connected with all those historical events and historical figures and stories. Well, the second reason is that when you pay a visit to those historical sites, people would have a better understanding of the nature of the city, its culture, its civilization, its development, its humanity, which allow you to have well-rounded perspectives towards the culture, the local people, and the city. As we all know that all those historical stories, shape their appearance of a unique city, the architecture styles, the manner, the customers, the celebration tradition, and the festivals, the culture, the paintings, the statues, and aesthetics appreciation, something like that. And all those historical sites thoroughly embody a unique culture. Well, for example, when you appreciate all those masterpieces of paintings, in those cathedrals or in those temples, you would be able, to catch the nuanced differences and even significant changes, of the cultural development from the medieval art, the Renaissance to the neoclassicism. And when you pay a visit to those grand architectures, such as the Grand Wall in China, in Beijing, such as the pyramids, in Egypt, in Mexico, which is a forbidden city, in China, you would be able, to appreciate the ancestors' wisdom, and you would start to appreciate all those ancestors, those predecessors' wisdom, and how the local people worship their, our ancestors. And in this way, you would have a better understanding of their culture. So, probably I think that is the reason why many people like to pay a visit to those historical sites. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the end of my video. If you like my video, please thumb up. If you have any questions or comments, you are really welcome to leave a message. If you want to get to know more about IELTS speaking exam, please subscribe me and ring the bell. You will never miss my updates. Okay, thank you. Bye.